back to Total Warhammer 3 in part 13 of our Yuan Bo Immortal Empires campaign. In today's episode, the Jade Dragon is actually parked right off of the coast of Ulthuan. I have decided what we are going to do to come on over and help out the forces of the Beanpoles here on the Big Donut. We're going to try to take down Vol's Anvil and Torsathai, and even Count Noctilus if we can manage it, just for his defeat trait, helping us kind of scoot around on the ocean a little bit better here, since kind of the Jade Dragon is acting as yin-yin for this campaign. He's got a lot of sea voyages to get to. I'm thinking that's going to change once yin-yin does arrive, but for now, that's what we're up to. So we are going to land on Vol's Anvil next turn and do as much damage as possible. Hopefully Noctilus actually will land back here, so we get a proper battle between Count Noctilus and Yuan Bo. That would be awesome. The other things we are up to is we have come on over with Minbo, I almost called her Murderessa. And we are going to actually fight the Chamber of Visions battle here. It's time for the Siege of the Chamber of Visions. We saw our last auto-resolve with just a single wizard, and then this kind of garrison took out almost half of our troops. We need to keep the pressure up on Rakarth and not allow any of his Dark Elves to actually form up troops. One of his special abilities is he can kind of keep beasties in a ROR-style recruitment, where you can just kind of pop them in whenever you want. So he can form up a pretty nasty army out of nowhere, just full of obnoxious feral creatures. So we're going to fight this one out, hunt some monsters. We've got a few monsters of our own, hopefully, that can bring them down. Let's get to it. Right then, lads. How do we destroy them? We sit up on a hill with cannons and just kind of blast away. It's a strategy that I think will work out fantastically. So we'll set the cannons up on top of the hill. Yoink. Saber Tusks are going to be a problem, so we'll have two Jade Lions ready to stop them. It'll have everyone else on the other side there. Jet Lions are going to be great because the Missile Mirror is going to reflect that nasty, nasty damage the Dark Shards are able to do. We'll set our Warriors up. At least attempt to along the contour of the hill, kind of best we can. We'll throw the Spearmen into blocks on both sides. Just ready to stop that Saber-Tusk charge and throw their lives away for the Emperor, should he demand it. We'll throw the Rain Guns. It'd be great to have them snipe out those Saber-Tusks as they rush across the field there. We'll have both of our Peasant Archers up front. Control down a few times to get them in a more square formation. We'll have the Crossbowmen fill in from there. Or a bit more of a wide formation than I would normally want to. So we pull our Warriors in and these Spearmen back. Rain Guns, we might rotate a little as well. That way they're not firing into their backs with their brothers there. What we will have to keep in mind is as soon as they do start going up the hill here, we will have to rotate them off to the side just because they won't be able to fire properly. Crossbows can, rain guns cannot. No, you guys need to stay where you're at. Perfect. Actually, I think I'm going to move these guys over here to give them a better chance. That'll do. And Bo, front line, and do you have a horse? You do indeed. We're going to use you really aggressively then. And Cathay is one of the only factions that I will keep my infantry in guard mode pretty much the whole time. Artillery, and then Min and her cats. Cannons, I do want you guys to start firing on... Oh, they're not close enough. Meantime, we'll take them off fire at will so they're not blasting into the woods. That's a good old waste of 4 cannonballs. Oh, wrong. Supposed to dodge those. Okay, here comes the Saber-Tusks. Let's see if we can't get a few good hits on the Manticore, though, because if we can make that thing rampage, it's going to be much more useless for the squad as a whole. We'll bring the Shugen Gun forward. We'll launch a fireball towards this group of Dark Shards. Pretty good hits. They're blinking off where they can there. Make sure you go after the Manticore. Bring you on back. Let's go ahead and drop down the Wall of Wind and Fire here. They've got very low armor, so they're going to be taking lots of damage. Really. They're going for the really long con. Alright, cannons, go ahead and switch targets. Let's start bonking these dark shards here.
Grand cannon. Warrior crossbow.
Repair. You peasant archers go after the witch elves. You start blinking away at those dark shards, they're gonna go well wide. Then we'll go for some dragon breath through these guys. That may be a little bit early. That's not so bad. Cannons, go ahead and switch targets. Let's go ahead and bonk the sorceress.
Ready to rule. Archers, swift cry.
Lions, dive on in. Rain guns, let's have you start blinking away at these guys if you can. They may not be able to. Spirit Leech going down. Let's go ahead and dive on into battle then. He's going to be terrified of that once it arrives. Now you guys go fight the Sabertusk pack.
Celestial fury.
Move in and help. On the Dread Spears are going to be needed there. Jade Lion Breath. Come on, back. Let's go for another Wall of Wind and Fire. If we're careful, we can hit only the Dark Elf units.
Archers, move in formation. Lions as one.
The Lions keep throwing down with the Sabertusks there. We can't let her get hit with another one of those Spirit Leeches. It'd be too much damage.
Celestial lights. Fire in the blood.
Let's go ahead and retreat. Rain guns start blinking away at the Sorceress. We need her gone.
Sorcerer.
That was a miscast. We can't have any more of that. Stay well away from the fighting, Minbo.
I will go. Cannons.
Drop some cannonballs where you can there. That's pretty good stuff. Let's have you guys fire on the flanks. And the mixture of Spearmen and Jade Lions was far too much for the beasties. Well done. A ton of damage on our Sorcerer, which is not great, but continue to hunt these poor fools down. Oh, cannonball. Turned into a smudge. How unfortunate. I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, another Sorceress falls. We nearly lost Minbo in the process, so we're going to definitely need to keep her well away from the fighting for this next battle. I'm sure there is just some Dark Elf forces right outside of our line of sight here. Otherwise, they are well and truly not prepared for an invasion from the north, and that was foolish. Swordmaster Murderessa has fallen. Sit here and do some replenishing. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of combine these three guys up.
Suits my purposes. Natural authority.
Beautiful. Just get one extra spearman. That way they are all ready to go. Minbo, you can go ahead and give yourself a bit more skills. Bound a spell. We could either go for a fireball. It's not an area. I'm thinking the best one to go for is the Bound Earthblood. Absolutely. Nice bit of heals for our front line.
I was born to wield it.
Or for our Jade or Jet Lions if they need it. Sweet business. We're going to go ahead and come on over to the Jade Hall, I believe. Riverport. Archer platforms.
We are in need.
You're in need. How about an alchemy workshop then? And if we really want to capitalize on gold gains, we can throw in the spice market. They're struggling with control a bit. So really we go for the conscription field, that way we're not dealing with constant rebellions. Wouldn't really be that big a deal. We could use the rebellions to try to take down Swamp Town. So let's throw in the Archer platform to keep ourselves defended, but we'll let the Swamp Town fall. Port Reaver. I think the best call here is to leave the settlement alone. We'll come back here eventually. Pull the province tab. Celestial Riverlands, we can make more gold, and that is what we are going to do. Last episode there, we did confederate up with Miao Ying, so all of her land is now ours. So we are now in charge of the Bastion there. For better or for worse. I think I would like to just make sure we can get eventually in the Celestial Barracks, so I'm not going to worry about any other buildings for now. We'll just kind of sit and wait. Pengbo is going to hold the line. I've got Felix going to join Gotrek. They're going to attack the Foundry of Bones. While Qianhuo, if they don't recruit any more soldiers, I'm going to move in and just surround village and let him attrition down.
Servant of the dragon.
We'll take some attrition ourselves unless we grab some cannons. I'm tempted to take out these peasant horsemen and replace them with cannons.
Forces in balance.
Simply take 2 turns. Let's grab one of them for now. Actually, take this one off. Can we get both cannons?
Attention.
1588. I'm thinking just barely. We'll go stop building something else, but we're going to get rid of both of these horsemen. He's going to sit here. We've got other troops in global. Where can we change that?
Recompensed.
Ah, they're almost done. Versus, we should have checked. That's okay. You sit there and you get... keep village worried, I guess. That's a misclick. We shall play on. Just save some gold then. We've got lots of upgrades we could kind of throw out wherever we'd like. Let's go for the growth building in Chimai. That's only 425. Very cheap upgrades I will go for. We need control over here, so let's go ahead and... I guess I prefer to get that in the Wellspring, so instead we'll go on in and grab ourselves more spice markets or platforms. It completely nullifies my previous statement of wanting to save. Let's do it either way. Next turn, Mingfan shall appear through the sea portal. Called it a rift, I believe, last turn. Yuan, you are going to be sitting in the Dragon Gate, doing nothing. Thoughtful maneuver.
Doomthaumancy.
Right then. Figure out our next technology. We are in the second tier. We'll come back and grab some of them in the first tier, probably later on. But that's just an additional 10 armor or a bit of vigor loss reduction. Meanwhile, we can get a bit more range. Construction time reduction for both Yin and Yang buildings. 30 additional armor for the Zangu War Drum. Control 7% income from tariffs, 50% income from faction capital, 25% more income from ports. This one is fantastic. Range for Yang characters, success chance. Our second tier of technology here is pretty solid. We'll start off with the dynastic finishing. Extra recruit rate for caravan masters and lords, just 3 across the board there.
Investment in the future.
Investment in the future. 5 more turns till we can activate our next commercial district, and I'm excited to do so. I'll skip on through, and let's see what Chaos tries.
Was their life, but begging for mercy would be advisable.
Is that what he's about to do? Please, peace? Never. I think he heard us talking about setting up... Ooh, Gotrek versus a whole heap of enemies. We would karate chop Shan Liang like it was nobody's business, but can he fight against that many berserkers? Let's do it. These are just normie Norskins that are marked for siege. That's quite interesting. Let's go ahead and set the shotguns up. I'd like to put them in the woods. Problem is there's no way to guarantee that the forces of Norska are not just going to ignore them. Or ignore Gotrek, just go right by him. Set him as far up as we can. I'm going to put the Jade Lion also in the woods, so he's going to sit there and give them some extra reload rate. As soon as we run out of ammunition, we have to retreat. These guys aren't going to fight for any length of time, the Iron Hail guns. Alright, Gotrek. You and the Lion. Let's do it.
Very well. On my way.
Zooming to about this position so we can kind of swarm the enemies around the crater there and then send the Jade Lions and the shotguns out. Really cool. So they just all get the Mark of Zeech no matter what. These are just normal Norscan warhounds. They're all tinged blue.
My axe
Really cool.
Going.
take you guys off of fire at will. I want to pick those targets. Where are you going? Don't be a coward. Do these guys have warp flame attacks? What's very interesting is they don't have magical attacks. Zinch mark. Maybe they just have barrier. Huh. Even if we lose Gotrek here, we get the opportunity to actually see what the USAC are up to. They're just gonna keep swarming around, trying to locate our shotgunners. Alright, Gotrek, get them. The AI obviously being a bit suspicious with its playing here. It knows exactly where these Iron Hail guns are. Broke their barrier, now the shotgun should destroy the unit. There we go. Beautiful. Rip them to shreds. Here comes the next unit. I don't know why you guys are moving so far up. Just start shooting. Jade Lion pressed through the line. You go ahead and give yourself your armor piercing damage. Is not what I meant. There you go. Jade Lion through the lines. Go ahead and dive back in with troops surrounding here. If they understand, they just have to press through and kill my Iron Hail guns. Not much I can do about it. Pull the Lion through. Iron Hail guns pull back a little bit. Pull the Jade Lion through as well. And then dive into these horsemen. Going for the sheer overwhelm, which I can respect. Gotrek, karate chop Shan Liang here. Gotta retreat. Away from those javelins. Our last Jade Dragon Breath, blast it through these two groups. Come through if any of them would like to try to dive into our Iron Hail guns. We'll give them a hug.
I'll die willingly.
Gotrek will easily deal with Shan Liang here. Press through the enemy line. Force them to stay here and fight you. Luckily, the Jade Lions are very hefty. Dive in, we're likely to lose it just because of all the bonus fee large we have to deal with.
Gotrek! All right then, slay!
And we got fools making it in on the Iron Hail. Try to help out. Looks like the swarm of Norse goods is just going to be a little bit too much for us. Shan Liang has fallen. I don't mind leaving him partially alive. That way, for our next battle, we have a lot better chance of doing more damage. You come on outward to try to help Gotrek. Maybe going for just body block on most of our opponents now. Should rip through their barrier pretty quickly. Rolling on around to the enemy lines. Shan Liang is back, is he? Shotguns are retreating. We'll go ahead and speed things on up. Jade Lion, let's go ahead and retreat. Bring him on around and we'll just dive him back in. Gotrek is starting to run out of steam here. Come through. He's not really meant to be fighting against berserkers like that. So now it's just going to be him fighting it till the bitter end there. We did a fair decent bit of damage. Almost 500 of them fell. The enemy just pressed right past Gotrek and into our Iron Hail guns. Alright, we lost the battle, but I think we won the war. Except it only is giving them 300 lost. We get a little bit more damage than that. Come on now.
I shun folly.
Boone has come up upon a rival's caravan. We can replenish our cargo or our forces. We're going to go ahead and grab the medicine. Available lords. We have
Check
to
your
replace them?
weapons.
I would rather
Again.
not. That's really foolish. Okay. He didn't hunt them down for... I'm not sure the reason. We'll just bring this Dragon Blooded Sugar Gun in, since I don't necessarily care if he has been drop-kicked.
What
Magic
was the
drained
world like in the
on
Celestial
Gotrek, who never had any magic in the first place.
Was their life?
Gotrek is now a legendary warrior, up to 20% ward save, 30 on his attack and defense, and he's got Deadly Onslaught. Sweet business. King Fun has completed his journey. It is time to destroy Lustria.
Celestial General.
Alright. We need to take down the Southern Sentinels next. I think we need to move towards the Worm Coast here.
My place to question the
Let's not go outside of our
only to ensure your defeat.
movement range here. There are the Dark Elves.
We will reach our destination.
Don't see them.
Storms or not.
Doesn't mean they're not lurking just outside. Here's Rakarth. We found him.
Absurd.
Sad.
Dragon-blooded sugar.
Right, Shang Fang, you need to move on down south to help out our allies pretty quickly here.
March with speed.
We will be trespassing on the Bretonian lands.
Ancestors. guide
Albrick is over
us.
here, huh? Albrick, you have your own share of issues you need to be dealing with. Priorities, my friend. Priorities.
Lord Magistrate reporting. There is no cause noble.
You, Tian, you can just start stocking up on normal cross or normal peasant archers now, so we'll start moving you over to
Spread
Ziggurat so we can then
Tethys
come on out
light.
and grab this mysterious island.
Lord Magistrate.
So we'll go for one more spear, one peasant archer. Looks good. Skaggy can go up to a town. It'll allow us to better defend it and get the next tier of port.
Reverence fades.
Walks up to Administration Center, although this is not our most important province, if we're being honest.
So many dragons.
Love the river port, but it is quite expensive.
Walk of the Serve me well.
And we're back. Had to go help the lady wizard with something mysterious. World may never know. So back to the campaign, if I can quickly get centered on what we were up to. I do think it's a good idea to try to upgrade the Great Bastion, especially since we just got taken down out here on the sides here. We can't really go after Festus just yet. We kind of have to lure him out of the Red Fortress now. So let's go ahead and have Qian
Building harmony.
come on over and help out with Thamen.
Born to rule.
Thamen's secondary form.
Zhen Yang shows the
Jiaolong,
way.
you can come with. It's going to be a dangerous
Celestial
fight.
General.
He's trying to lure us into fighting this guy and not coming over here, so it wouldn't be able to reach
You are
otherwise.
nothing compared to me.
Sigma preserve us.
You stay. Come on over to help out Jiaolong, since Gotrek got knocked out.
Yours.
We're a bit aggressive with him. I bet this guy was in an ambush somewhere. And now we take down Thamen.
Dragons.
Or Breaker. Which does seem to be a bad trait. Oh, yeah?
Dinner.
I have never seen an army of Norskins this large run away.
Attention.
Well, now we're about to get jumped by both of these guys here.
Leader of men.
Alright. Such is the way.
Natural authority.
You go into encamp stance.
We'll
have you scoot back next to her. We'll take a bit of attrition, but even if they choose to
The
attack Jiaolong
dragon-blooded.
first, we'll hold in and we'll fight. No problem. We got Felix.
Celestial General.
Oh, plus we could just have Peng Bo come out of here and give this guy a karate chop in the neck. Perfect.
I'll fight from the front.
Fight from the front. Decisive victory and low casualties. I think we will grab the stock on... It's amusing to give the stock to the shotgunners, isn't it? And then we'll just give this one to the auto-resolve. Let's see how bad it is against the barriered Norskins. And... yoink.
We are Cathays.
We lose most of our front line. Never again.
You shall toil.
You have to learn that lesson once each time, don't we? Fuhong Monk
General.
doing his job. Just jump back into the turtle gate, and we'll let
Take
these
up
two sit
positions.
outside We may just go after the Foundry of Bones instead, just since we don't have Gotrek anymore.
Serve from the front.
Front. Your sure aim is all good to go. Let's go for simply Deadly Blade, 91 melee attack with that rattled. It's such a good effect. These guys are crazy. Just a bundle of stats. I mean, 91 and we're only up to the first tier here. He does have a Sword of Swift Slaying, but that's only increasing it by 4. So you can boost these guys into the stratosphere. Crown of Command, I would like to combine that with something else. Kind of my least favorite of the items.
Instrument of the Divine.
More growth, sure, in every single one of these gates.
Shogun Lord reporting.
More growth. And the growth building here. Awesome. Now, Miao Ying, can you reach any of Zatan's settlements? No, but I think that's going to be necessary that we blitz a few of them at once.
Ready to defend.
Ready to defend or go on the offense. Perfect, we're going to go ahead
I'll
and...
stand apart.
Or Miao Ying, we move you
The
forward.
Great Crusade.
Got 2 alchemists. We don't really need 2 alchemists in this army.
The glory of Cathay is unparalleled.
Which of you is stronger? You've got more spells, so we'll bring this alchemist over to join Yuan Shan in the defense.
I will rid them of all fatigue.
Perfect. And then Miao Ying, I'm just going to come on out, do some trespassing. The Chaos Dwarves aren't going to like it.
Gathers.
I don't think they get much choice, though. We got Glumba Cragbrows, Raishi Deepbrow, and Zatan the Black. I am scared of none of you.
It shall please the dragons.
It shall. Alright, Yuan Bo. Time to land on... Yes, so he has actually arrived. 3 mortars. What else do we have to work with here in the Vol's Anvil? We'll take a bit of attrition. Like, real aggressive. Just take the city down. I think we have what it takes. The mortars are going to be a problem. They're going to blast apart our Jade Warriors pretty aggressively. So what we're going to need to do is... see what Count Noctilus is fielding. Oh, never mind. We already know what he's fielding. Cool. Deck guns can't go on the walls.
Sorcery. Through me.
Well, I think we have what it takes. Let's get them. So we're going to declare war after talking
I will
to
weigh what you have to say and the
you,
merit
Tyrion.
of your actions.
I'm going to join your war against the Dreadfleet. You are going to give me a non-aggression pact? Yeah, we'll take the non-aggression pact. And whatever gold you're willing to give us.
As you say.
Awesome. Sweet. High Elves are all starting to like us a lot more. Karazakarak as well? Yes, quickly.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
We don't have any trade items to give them, but we can start working our alliance up. And hang on now, you're down to 1 settlement? We're not going to be able to see it now, are we? Let's make deals with Argo Island while we can. Non-aggression pact. Very friendly with the trees. That would be preferable. Probably a good idea just to make deals with Torgovan as well. While we're here. Thank you, Dada.
Tribe Lord.
I'm going to be slaughtering Greasus as a matter of principle. The Mountains of Morn need to be safe for Cathayans to pass through. I don't think Yuan Bo would allow the Ogres to exist. He is pragmatic. Let's come on in here and do some damage to Noctilus then.
I cannot delegate this.
Man, I am tempted to be sneaky and go after Torsathice in reach. But cutting the head off the snake now would be very key. It's only a tier 2 settlement, so I think this is the best time to do it. Man, is it spooky though. Is there any items we can give them to make them
Architect.
better? In fact, we can come on in and grab the Talisman of Preservation from Miao Ying. Give her the Jade Amulet instead, and then we can give anything better for you. I like the Potion of Healing, and the Cloak of Pomei is pretty solid. As long as you're out of melee. Actually, that's not great for you. Scroll of Leeching isn't either, though. The Maw Shard, it gives him more spell mastery. That's kind of spicy. Let's try it.
Useful tool.
Try not to lose my voice as well. And into combat. Give us a valiant defeat. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty brutal fight. But I'm here for it. What does the settlement look like? Okay, Okay, so your typical high elves. We should still have plenty of room to fire at the towers from with the grand cannons. Poke a few holes. Yuan Bo can run on in infantry form. Is Noctilus on his big creature yet? No, he's on foot, so he should be actually pretty easy for Jade Dragon to bring down. Yeah, he's got 76 melee defense, but just a few shots should be more than we need. That should be awesome. Let's dive in. Okay, so high elves have pretty dangerous settlements to crack no matter what. I'm thinking it is a good call. They can set up barriers on both sides there. I believe they can on this one as well, so a barrier here and a barrier here. Really set up for missile troops. So what we need to do, there's 5 towers across the front. 3 towers here that we would have to poke. I think that's a little bit easier to handle. Set up the cannons in Z's position. Should be able to fire right up and in, no problem. This little tower here might prove to be an issue. That'll do. We'll have the war drum here.
Never conquered.
And we'll kind of set the troops up around the war drum, with it being central. Want to make sure we can knock down the tower without taking too many casualties, so...
Warrior.
Jade Warriors.
Stone and steel.
Jade Crossbows. I will have the drum move over a little bit. We can move the crossbows in next to them.
Raise the dragons. Minds as one.
Awesome. Hua Yin behind.
Dragon crossbows.
Most important, so we need them to stay alive, for sure. Crane guns here on the hill. And then our peasant spearmen. We will just deploy behind for now.
Thoughts in harmony.
Sweet. Lances. We'll have the 2 rows off to the side as well. Let's have our lions up front. I want any of the firing on the mortars to go with the lions if we can help it. And I am going to pull the whole line back. I am not risking any kind of nonsense off the start. We need maximum troopage to make it to the walls here. Our Jade Warriors aren't going to do all that much, but our crossbows' abilities to fire up and over things is going to really, hopefully, carry the day here. Jade Dragon. Unma.
Sorcerer of
She's on foot, but I think it's a good idea to keep her up front. She can get sniped pretty easily, so we'll have to keep a very close eye. Jade Infantry, Flyers, and then everyone else in position. Awesome. If we time our missile mirror correctly, we can hopefully spike the mortars right back down into their barrels. We'll see. That will begin. Start blinking away at these towers here. Everyone move on the tower.
1,000 more of your lifetimes in this struggle, never shirking my responsibility to fight.
Let's have the lions kind of rotate around.
My people, for all Cathay.
For all Cathay. Oh, they can reach. We're in range.
Minds as one.
Fall back. You pros go over the top here. Lances of VOYAGE over the top as well. Yeah, they got the mortars right up front. Intriguing. The first towers are down. Let's go ahead and have the cannons start ranging out the next ones then. Not dealing with any of that. Those zombie pirates are dropping down off the walls. Would we actually take down a chunk of the wall as well? No, that 4 tower is incredibly bugged looking. That's very fair enough. Alright, everyone move in. That's fairly safe now. Now the plan is to try to spike the bombers. First, we'll go for a Blossom Wind through all of these very lightly armored troops. See how much damage we get. Mashard, go. So we did that in time. Oh, the damage. They did avoid a good bit of it, though. But any troops it does hit just go away. Alright, you guys come on in. Let's do some damage to these deck droppers here. Lances of VOYAGE, you guys help. It's not actually who they are, but I'd like to think it is. firing mortar shots at
Ready as
really bad targets for
always.
them. Knock down that section of wall. Please and thank you. We'll go for some Jade Dragon Breath through here. How are you guys doing? Some of those crowmen didn't actually listen to the attack order, which is very surprising. Oh, they actually went around. Alright, now we can start advancing the line here. We're gonna go for the speed.
It is fated.
Never conquered. For the Emperor.
It's a
Jade warriors.
It's a kamikaze style attack on our cannons. Bold strategy. Pull everyone back. Can we missile mirror these poor fools? Oh, just barely not. Let's try to do that to these deck gunners here. And move in and try to activate their targeting. Oh, never mind, that worked out just fine. Those poor fools. You dive into these gun mobs. Looks like Noctilus is being smart and staying well away. Go for a Blossom Wind. I would say that's pretty good directioning there. Jade Lion, come on over. Cannons, switch to these section here. Yeah, we let them sit for a little bit too long. Shun Ma, we're going to use none of your spells because you're not as scary as Yuan Bo is. Go ahead and take down both of these units at once. Is this Depth Guard? Let's wait.
My pen or sword.
Alright, you two come on away just for now. We can drop down the Guinness Golden Hounds on all of this nonsense in here. And then Yuan Bo can go for the Talons of Night Overcast. Oh, we can't actually overcast, can we? A single cast will do. Pros are taking a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and get them in to combat with these deck guns. The same kind of, you guys go over the top and brawl with these mortars. Now it's time to send in the rest of the army. Army in. Oh, they're all out of whack here. Crossbows
Never conquered.
move to here, and then everyone else start advancing towards the walls. Perfect. Get you into a battle with Noctilus, that would be very key.
My elixirs are ready.
Stay outside the walls, Shun Ma.
This way.
You guys come on in with your Jade Dragon Breath. Your Jade Lion Breath, I guess it is actually called.
I am the executioner.
You are indeed, brother. Go down the Talons of Night on all of this nonsense as it goes up that hill. You guys just come on in. You can find different units of the ranged troops to go deal with. Wait for them to try to pick targets and then finish them off from there. Pros are wreaking havoc in the back line there.
Setting out.
Our Lion's getting bogged down by normies. Can likely go for a Blossom Wind to blend up the normies. Let's do it. We'll throw it this way. You Depth Guard left. They should have run when they had the chance. Stop them from firing on the main force, though. Let's go ahead and switch the Jade Drum over into armor mode, just so the mortars try to bounce off as much as we can there. Jade Dragon, you're doing just fine.
Stone and steel.
We can rip some of these enemies around him away.
Master metallurgist.
That's excellent stuff. We can drop down the Metallurgy on Yuan Bo,
And warrior.
as well as the Poison.
The fang falls.
You go ahead and come on out. Drop power recharge on this fool. Come outside the settlement there.
Secrets.
Dude, you got lucky. You got to do an escape from Yuan Bo. Just throw another Blossom Wind straight down the line. Some of the crows come over the top, and we're just going to have you guys go deal with this other gun mob there. Our damage is minimal in comparison. I mean, that works out. Kuai Yin, go ahead and deal with poor Noctilus there.
Emperor's execution.
Praise the dragons.
Oh, the humanity. Drop down the execution, and there goes the Kraken Lord. That's not even his title, and he doesn't deserve it.
Moving.
He has been slain.
Jade crossbows.
Crossbows in.
Formation.
Grace of Kuai Yin, we're going to have you guys set up here. Have the Jade Warriors start moving in to claim the different positions. Nope. The undead give up. And a decisive win, only 68 lost. In the battle of who has the better hat, the deer count has unfortunately proven the loser. Yuan Bo took down an entire half army by himself. I think each of these guys had about 1,400, so 700 kills to Yuan Bo. Those Blossom wins coming out of him are incredibly dangerous. Just broke the spirits. We shall go ahead and occupy Val's Anvil as is. I'm not going to actually give this back just yet, as we're going to kind of benefit from the extra research rate. More leadership while at sea, which is actually not a great defeat trait, I can't lie. But Yuan Bo has earned himself some more damage. I think we shall quickly give him Woundmaker. Increase that as much as we can, and we'll go for Blade Shield next. More or less, we'd like him to hold the line, drop down his execution abilities, and then the other spells he has, and that'll allow him to outdo most opponents in a battle.
Keeper of Wuxing.
Anything that is too large, we can just kind of fall back and let our archers do the damage for us. Shunma, you did actually miscast once or twice there. Let's go for the last point and boost income. Evan, we can go for Rolling Skies or Curse of the Midnight Wind. Let's grab Curse of the Midnight Wind.
Governor and executioner.
Just for now, we'll grab the Iron Mining Pit, just so we can mine the area. It's very cheap. Allows it to make some quick income while we're clearing out the area. We're basically going to clear Kalidor and then just hand it back to whichever Hail faction is the weakest. So probably Illyrian here. Maybe go for a split. Illyrian can have the capital and Tyrion can have the smaller one. We shall see which makes more sense for us in the long run here. We have a ton more gold to work with now, so let's just go for the upgrade to Shrine of Sotek. Jade Hall, we can get the River Port. Before I do, check the Bastion. Another 15% upkeep reduction? Oh, just 10%. Just fine. Yuan Shan is going to be very, very cheap. Sitting here holding the line.
Celestial General.
Awesome. Can't actually go for any more provincial upgrades. Jingpo is almost takes 5 turns since it's in the mountains, though. Over in Nangao proper. Let's grab the Clay Pit here. I'm going to switch all of the settlement buildings over to their Yin versions. Need control. This is going to be a military province here at the Gunpowder Road. So we will just go first for the trading camp. That way we can recruit in Jade Warriors when we need to. Go for growth building here. So the Tea Parlor. Yeah, we want maximized yen. I'm happy for a Celestial Tower because it gives us a nice bump to research rate. From there we just kind of allow things to build up. Most of the provinces that had yen buildings we need to switch over to, or yang buildings we need to switch over to yen. That way we have maximized growth potential. I'm gonna go for the Stonemasons Workshop here for more trade resources. We're all out of gold.
Astromancer of Grand Cathay.
For me, Min is all replenished up. Ricor's gonna come on over those, so let's set her up in an ambush.
Sent by our ancestors.
Although I would like you replenished more, wouldn't I?
Dragon-blooded Shogunga.
Your troops are good to go, though.
I concur. Blend with the night.
80%. You can do it.
Wherever Cathay needs me.
I believe you.
Within my reach.
We'll have to actually go in front of the
It is
province.
my calling.
Luckily, we have 80% everywhere here, which is fantastic. Yeah, Chongli is just going to continue to be a nuisance, stealing gold from the lizards down here. Not an enviable job, because they might decide at any point to come on out and get him. Tower is well defended.
Humility in
Fine,
all
gonna
things.
wiggle. What else do we have to work with?
Dragon-blooded
Dang
sugar.
it, Lin, we can probably just have you go ahead and
It
claim
suits my
this.
purposes.
Shipwreck.
Fly the Emperor's
I
flag.
think these are simply the event, and if not, we'll just take whatever the miserly sum is.
Our ancestors would lament this folly.
Why can't you come and
Beyond
grab
reason,
these?
beyond sanity.
Beyond reason and sanity.
Drop
Okay,
anchor.
hang out here for a minute then. We'll get it next turn. Drama.
Chosen by the celestial dragon.
Keep our heroes moving on up to explore and see what the ogres and the greenskins are up to, and we'll come on back down to Yuan Bo here.
So much to do.
Alright, the turn is again ours. Pingbo is a supervisor since he's been multiple turns in March. That's the one I'm trying to get most of the time when I'm moving people around in March stance. Dynastic finishing. There are those who obtain status through ignoble means, and there are those who debase their heraldry. Fortunately, true dragon-blooded may replace them at a whim. Oh man.
The celestial
Do your job or else. This is a trap name. That is what that is. Should we come on down and raise the Galleon's graveyard? Just finish off Noctilus? Kind of on a whim here.
in harmony with the road.
I think we should. They take any attrition, but we're not going to replenish. We could easily change that, though, by coming on into the Matters of State and grabbing the supply line operations. It'll also give us 20% more movement. We may want to use this. Oh, you can't actually target him because he's at sea. Army belonging to you or an ally, but because he's at sea, you can't target him? That's likely not meant to actually be the case. Let's pick our next technology from here. Astromantic Choir gives our Jade and Jet Lions 15% more speed. Well, I mean, that sounds great. Let's grab the improved winches first, and then we'll grab the Astromantic Choir.
Investment in the future.
Investment in the future.
Celestial General.
Chang it. Thing. Start up a fight with the Bretonnians at the same time. Start a two-part war. We can hand Walatl off to the
Take time to
Empire
gain
troops
the
in the
enemy's
area.
measure.
Is Albrecht here still? Let's find out.
Warriors, sons, with me.
We'll just go into an ambush and go a little bit more forward.
Advance without heroics.
Oh yeah, he's planning something over here.
I have seen your heart.
Says nothing about it, but she's seen it. At the very
Master
least.
of Feng Shi.
So Karth decided to turn and run. Huh. Well, I'm going to continue to try to go for that ambush. Chang Feng, you're going to watch for the Bretonnians.
Reverence fades.
We're definitely going to upgrade here at Spectazuma. Let's go for the walls, the yen-based walls, and the final upgrade of the growth building there. Isle of the Crimson Skull. Ooh, hang on now.
The ancestor spirits grow restless.
Now that this one's up to tier 4, some spicy options, except for the Wujing War Compass. Not as spicy. Well, I mean, you really can only go for the Alchemist Tower and the Celestial Barracks. So let us get more Alchemists, and then we can actually get in some Celestial Dragon crossbows sooner. How is the Imperial Road? How long till Wage ends upgraded? It's going to be a long while. Okay, we'll get our first set of Celestial Dragon Guard in, and then over at Imara Swamps. It didn't zoom in like I expected it to. Be well defended as well. This will allow us to actually get better upgrades for these guys too. which is perfect. Then we'll also just chuck in the spice market to make a bit more gold. Fantastic. Well, that's going to be all the time I've got for today. I have been Space Wizard Total War. Remember, leave a
Lord
like for Light God and a sub
Magistrate.
for the Subthone. See you on the next one.